Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen. Can we talk about Transformers? Oh yes. Hello to all once again. This is the Can We Talk About podcast, and we're doing some digging. Doing some ice digging in a big ol' ice cave to unearth something that was already unearthed for all to enjoy. But I guess we're being stupid and snarky about it.
Why not?
It's that series of Might and Metal, actual 80s cartoon classic, The Transformers. I make friends with people after saying two things to them. My name is Joe.
I don't care about the climate crisis. I'm Kristen.
And we are watching The Transformers Generation 1 via Tubi, where you can watch things like Problem Child 1 and 2.
Or all three Fred movies, we determined that as well.
Co-starring John Cena.
Perfect. I don't care about any of it.
Kristen, we're in the same room.
Yes, we are.
This is the first time since Father's Day?
Yeah, so it's been,
middle
like
of,
2 years.
Middle of season 2 of Gem?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I tried to get Joe to haggle with me so we could do the Dinobots episode in the same room, but I was denied.
No. Spoiler alert, Dinobots next week.
Woo!
This week instead, Kristen, we got an equally stupid episode.
Oh, yes.
Presuming that SOS Dinobots is stupid, which I'm guessing it will be.
I can only imagine.
Fire in the Sky, which features almost no fire at all.
Pretty much none.
Unless we're counting the Aurora Borealis as fire in the sky.
I don't think so. Pretty sure no.
That's light, so probably not how that works.
Yeah, not really.
It does feature a new Transformer, who's got interesting origins both in and out of universe.
And he is huge!
And he's a gigantic boy.
Giant.
So, already, again, 7 episodes in, getting a new Transformer. Did you want an episode about Mirage?
Oh, that would have been
Fuck
nice.
you!
Okay, God!
Fuck you!
We got toys to sell.
We got a big stupid jet to introduce everybody to.
Great.
So let's get to jetting!
Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. The Transformers, robots in disguise. The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers.
Fire in the Sky! Written by Dick Robbins and Bryce Malek, who brought us Transport to Oblivion. So
Those geniuses.
roughly the same.
Maybe a lack of attention to detail is the
through line.
The through line, yeah.
And Alfred A. Peggle, who's a great game.
It is. I was thinking about Peggle recently. I had it on my iPad and I played it a lot.
We start in a winter wonderland with some... Did you notice, the weird orchestral score that was going on at this point?
They had their sleigh bells jingling, ring-ting, tingling, too. But also kind of like desert guitar music.
So, Snow Hiker Action Spike shows up in his...
Oh, he looks so handsome in his cool jacket.
Until he puts on his winterized hard hat.
Whatever. Again, keeping his head safe and his ears warm.
That's what you need when it's 40 degrees below normal.
Yeah! What is normal?
Normal for Washington?
Yeah.
I mean, there's snow.
So are they saying it's 40 degrees below zero or 40 degrees below 80 degrees?
So here's the thing. Now, I've been operating under the assumption that they are in Washington because of the volcano, and I was like, oh yeah, Mount St. Helens, that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
But then we see a cactus later.
Yeah.
And I was like, are there cacti in Washington?
I'm telling you, Joe, Utah.
Apparently, Utah's probably a better assumption at this point.
I was onto something.
Either way, Spike walks up here.
We could just look this up.
I think even on the Transformers wiki, it's like it crashes
Who knows?
somewhere that looks like the American Southwest, it says. So
Whatever.
So Spike walks up here to a large snowman, and he says as such, that's the biggest snowman I've ever seen.
It's weird because what it looks like is a Transformer standing still covered in snow.
And shock of shocks, Kristen.
Oh, it's jazz.
It's jazz. And he says some stupid joke that I could barely hear because the orchestral trumpets were just...
I'm pretty sure it wasn't that funny anyway.
Well, they do a few snow puns here. Flurry in a hurry. I get your drift.
Like snowdrift, yes.
And after snow falls on Jazz, he says, hey guys, that's snow fair.
Spike also initiates combat with these giant robots who could kill him. So that's great. He says, the snowballs that they're throwing, snowball fight, not a robot fight, robot snowball fight.
Robot snowball fight.
Spheroid projectiles.
He's talking like a transformer, Kristen.
Is so lucky that, Who's a dumbass?
Cliffjumper's a dumbass?
Cliffjumper? He's lucky Cliffjumper didn't see a big rock and go, yes! Spheroid projectile! Pow!
Interesting you say that, Kristen, because we also get dumbass Bumblebee.
Yeah, everyone's an idiot.
So Jazz gets pelted with snowballs and stuff falls on him and he says, snow fair, and then Bumblebee's off to the side and Spike goes, watch out, Ratchet. Bumblebee's gonna get you. And Bumblebee scoops up a bunch of ice.
And he's not huge. He's a small guy. But he's still a robot.
He's still a large robot.
Uh-huh. And he throws such a big pile of snow at Spike's head that his head should have been knocked clear off his shoulders.
He spills his ass immediately. And as Bumblebee throws it, he says, you rat on me, I'll splat on you, which is a little more sexual than I'd like, quite honestly.
That's gross. Hey, at least he didn't say something about teeth.
It's like pulling teeth, Kristen.
Like pulling teeth.
So here's where, again, things get out of hand quickly as a snowball...
Is that just for the rat and splat rhyme? Because that's not even particularly,
snowball-oriented.
nuanced. I don't know. Sorry.
Spike's rolling backwards. He turns into a snowball.
Not
Not the Pokemon Snubble, I mean a snowball.
Yes.
So
it's dumb enough that he starts to accumulate snow.
Yes.
But then he bumps into some of his big robot pals, and they turn into a bigger snowball.
Yes, and Spike, by the way, no worse for wear. No broken nose from the snow pelting his face.
How much of Spike's anatomy is metal at this point?
He's got a Wolverine adamantium skeleton.
Perfect. That
Clearly.
makes total sense. Is that our first little piece of podcast canon? Spike's indestructible.
I mean, with the shit that goes on in this episode, Kristen.
Yeah, I don't know what other explanation there is. He's a hardy boy who's been drinking his milk.
14 years old.
So strong.
Spike reveals, as Hound and, Cliffjumper all slide around and just do stupid shit that, okay, so Spike's like, I can't believe I'm having a snowball fight with some Transformers in the middle of July!
Isn't that just the funniest thing that ever did happen?
And Optimus is watching on Teletran 1 here.
Who's filming?
Spike mentioned something about a sky spy later.
Yeah, that was in Antarctica.
Yeah, in the Arctic Circle.
Mm-hmm. So I guess they have one in Utah, too.
So, it can fly, I'm assuming.
Whatever.
Remember the thing that got the alt modes in the first episode?
I don't care. Optimus does go, I don't know a lot about Earth. But it seems like cactuses and giant snowdrifts in July doesn't quite make a lot of sense. I think there's a problem.
Teletran, can you pull up really quick what's going on with the Earth? And Teletran's like, so, okay...
Shit's cold!
Okay.
You're right!
Okay, Optimus, so everything's 40 degrees lower than it should be right now?
And Optimus is like, there's something up with the Earth's core.
Gears is off to the side, and we see a nice Hawaiian, Misfits in Hawaii area covered in snow.
Yep.
And Gears is like, I bet it's the Decepticons.
And he's right! But that's kind of a reach.
Even Jazz later is just like, it could be natural. This could be a natural thing happening to Earth in the 1980s.
And they're like, no!
So not unlike Kimber expecting the Misfits to be in the problem of everything.
And thankfully, a transition blah, 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 takes us to a weird green crystal, which is energy?
So,
and also the Earth's core.
This is
green, of course.
This is explained as we start with a green crystal out of some snow, and a reflector is underground who attaches like a hose to this thing.
Yes.
And it makes energon cubes. Now, Starscream explains this as the crystal shaft to the center of the Earth, which I don't know about that.
Hey, Joe, we find out in this episode Starscream's a scientist, so clearly that's got to be true.
And he's been to Earth before, too.
Yeah, so he's got it all. Joe, I would like to point out really quick, just because you mentioned Skywarp, we watched the opening. It took me the entire opening to tell you correctly the difference between Skywarp and Thundercracker, but I did it.
Did you want to, Kristen? You had said in the last episode that you wanted to try to name all the Autobots here, and when I sent you the album art that we'll be using for this episode, I'm just going to read very quickly. We had a DM conversation because you were on a bus, and basically it's 4 guys from later in the episode here, and you had no idea who the fuck any of them were.
Yeah, let's see. I said, is one Prowl, maybe?
Nope.
Ratchet? Hound?
Yes and yes, the Ratchet and Hound you did get.
Cliffjumper?
No.
Shit. Wait, is one Skyfire? 'Cause
No.
I wouldn't know. Okay. Damn it. Sideswipe Sunstreaker.
Neither.
I'm running out of fucking names, Joe. Mirage.
Nope.
Okay, is the first one Hound and the third one Ratchet?
That is correct.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I didn't confuse them for someone else. Also, I was spelling Ratchet wrong the whole time.
Yes, you were.
I can't remember the goddamn Red Bumblebee name.
Red Bumblebee is Cliffjumper, and that is not Cliffjumper.
Wheeljack. Shit!
To which you reveal later, Kristen, that you know who Wheeljack is.
I know what Wheeljack looks like, so I don't know why I said that. Gears.
Gears is one of them.
Jazz.
No.
Jazz, no, fuck. Gears is second?
Gears is the tiny red guy. You just need the big red guy now.
Jesus Christ, who's the other dipshit?
And then it took you about, 15-20 minutes before getting to Ironhide, finally.
So, yeah, I asked if he was the shield guy. You said, is that Trailbreaker? I said, and that man is not Trailbreaker? Yeah, and eventually, as I was giving up, I did say Huffer. So, again, I've named almost everyone.
You got every name except for Blue Streak, I'm pretty sure,
yeah.
before you got to Ironhide.
And that was because I thought I made Blue Streak up. And then, wait, fuck, is it Ironhide?
Kristen, how did you not remember Ironhide?
Joe, I'm gonna come clean, too. I went back to one of the podcast episodes and buttoned through until I heard a name I didn't recognize. That's the only way I got Ironhide.
Perfect.
I still could not tell you who the fuck he is.
So we cut to Rumble at this point, who is pile driving some ice.
He's not doing a great job until Skywarp comes over to neg him, I guess.
And then Rumble just puts a little too much juice on it and causes a cave-in / avalanche at the same time.
It's very normal. I'm used to it at this point.
So at this point, they notice that there is a little piece of metal sticking out of the ice, which, Kristen, that piece of metal does not correspond to anywhere on Skyfire's body.
I didn't think so when I looked at it.
It looks like Laserbeak's beak.
They didn't know what they were doing.
Starscream and Megatron arrive here just in time, and they start...
It's great because Starscream walks in like, guys, there's work to do. What are you doing? And they're like, we found something. And Megatron...
No, Starscream found something.
Yeah, it was me. I found it. As soon as Megatron's like, you guys did find something. Like, no, it was me.
Megatron says that this is a robot of unknown origin.
I can tell that by looking at its not shoulder.
Though its size means that it'll be a very strong Decepticon.
He's huge!
And he smiles like an idiot. So, Teletran lets the Autobots know that the source of the energy, like the coldest part of the planet maybe, which is Antarctica normally, so
sure.
Whatever. But the most energy drain is coming from the Arctic Circle.
Yes.
And then the Sky Spy, as we mentioned before, is...
So I guess it's just, it doesn't have a brain because it's scanning past and Spike is like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. There was a giant crystal coming out of the ground back there. Can you pan back, please? And it goes like this way. And then it finally hits it.
Yeah. It's like, wait, what? And
then, where?
Of course, the Autobots are like, oh, that's not a natural thing on Earth.
Yeah, that doesn't,
The heat loss is the most prominent around the crystal. And Jazz goes, it could be a natural phenomenon.
Teletron's like, shut the fuck up. I can see Decepticons.
Optimus at this point goes, yes. So Decepticons are the cause of the problem. And he gets up and he goes, Autobots!
Woo!
Transform! And roll out! Oh.
Yeah!
7 episodes, Kristen.
I was really afraid it was going to take longer. Now we can stop worrying about it.
Arctic Circle, here we come.
Let's drive there!
Kristen, don't they need passports to get to Canada?
You would think so, wouldn't you?
Don't they need something to get over the ocean between Canada and the Arctic Circle?
Are the Transformers technically undocumented?
They probably only need Spike and...
Or do you think they have U.S. citizenship now?
They probably only need Spike and Sparkplug's passport. That's
I feel
true.
like, yeah, if all of the Earth's governments agreed, these Autobots are pretty cool. They have passports.
Oh, is that Optimus Prime? Come right through, sir.
It is more believable that Optimus Prime has a passport than Gem.
Oh, no.
Yeah!
We get another transition here. Skyfire is out of the ice. He is on a fixie bed. And Thundercracker comments that this robot is still nice and fresh after being on the ice.
You know, like meat.
So, Kristen, Skyfire. Let's talk about Skyfire really quick.
Do we have to?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Skyfire, so Hasbro, the Transformers line, even though we said it was mostly made up of Diaclone and Microchange robots, there are a few from separate companies.
They just saw a thing in Japan and were like, we want that.
Exactly. Some guy at Hasbro went to, like, Japanese toy fairs and was like, cool, robot.
I'll take it.
Give me the rights to that.
It turns out we love jets, is what we figured out so far. So how about we just get some more jets?
So, Skyfire was modeled after, well, the toy is a straight, brought over from Japan,
Yes.
Super Dimension Fortress Macross, Super Valkyrie. So, Macross is a fairly popular anime that actually started airing after Transformers as Robotech.
I only know about the Pop Stars one.
Oh yeah, what's the name of that one? Fuck.
Frontier?
There we go, thank you.
Haha.
With Ronka Lee
And Cheryl.
There we go.
Cheryl
What?
Mom.
Why do I know that?
I don't know why I do either. I can't remember your phone number, but I can remember Macross Frontier.
They bring it over, one to one. Now, the Macross Valkyrie belongs to a company in Japan called Takatoku. And they are rivals with Takara, who has microchange and Diaclone.
So what you're saying is Hasbro kind of did some shady shit.
Sort of? Because, well, the thing is, there are other Takatoku toys that became larger Insecticons that were just never in the series, presumably because of what the problem they had with Skyfire. Where they can't have a fucking Macross Valkyrie in Transformers if Takara decides that they want to bring Transformers over to Japan.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. They'd be like, whoa, wait a minute. Well, those two robots look identical. Can you imagine booting up Gundam Wing, and there's just Ava Unit 1? And you're like, what the fuck?
What you're talking about, Kristen, is Super Robot Wars.
Oh, I didn't know that. We didn't talk about the things that we watched. I did binge all of Evangelion.
The initial character design of Skyfire as well is a 1-to-1 of the Valkyrie, which is, it's got like a robot face, it's got an antenna.
Couldn't
it's
be any
got
possible issues with
a fucking giant backpack, and so Takara was like, ooh. Also, I should say that Jetfire was the initial name as well.
Yes.
Which was the version that's based entirely on the Valkyrie. So, as it became kind of known that it's like, ooh, we can't really do this, they redesigned him to look, I don't want to say nothing like the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Less like the Valkyrie. He's got a normal robot face, he's got wings.
Looks a little bit more like he belongs in Transformers.
Yes. As a result, for some reason, they were just like, okay, so everybody knows that Jetfire is going to be the Valkyrie. And the Valkyrie toy was still called Jetfire. So they decided to kind of change it because everybody knows it's the Valkyrie, so we can't really call it that. So let's call him Skyfire instead, and it'll be so
completely different.
Technically, Skyfire didn't have a Generation 1 toy. Technically.
Man, if there's anything I've learned in 7 episodes, is that Transformers, between the cartoon and the toys, there's some ridiculous shit happening. I was saying to you, it seems like absolutely none of the creative teams were communicating with each other. It's bad teamwork.
It's very possible. It's possible the people at Hasbro didn't actually know that Takara was like, hey, you're using like 80% our designs. Can we kind of get in on the action here?
Yeah, maybe they should have had a conversation about it.
So that's, at least from how I understand, it happened with Jetfire and Skyfire confusion, and
so Skyfire, with his weirdness, is more of an on and off sort of guy. He's an Anthony Julian.
Ah, perfect, of course. And as a result as well, he is in the cartoon sparingly.
Yes.
As we'll see that he gets fucking...
It's probably the best way to deal with that. We'll talk about that later, Joe. It's very sad.
Yeah.
Hand over the heart. Have some respect, please.
They talk about getting Skyfire back up and running here. Starscream goes, hit him with 50,000 volts!
It's at this point where I was like, none of the Decepticons are doctors. They don't have a ratchet.
I was going to say Soundwave's close. He's a mind reader guy. I don't think so.
I don't think that counts. I don't see a 1-to-1 there.
Starscream's a scientist. That's as close
He's
as...
a scientist.
He's got a doctorate.
He's an explorer, scientist, warmongerer.
With a doctorate in being a fuckface.
I have a PhD in piss.
Megatron at this point is like, you seem pretty concerned, Starscream, about this guy. What's going on with that?
That's in response to him saying, hit him with 50,000 volts, which doesn't sound pleasant. But Starscream talks about how he ended up actually knowing Skyfire. They were partners. Life partners.
At one point in their lives. And then he cuts that conversation off going, crank up the voltage to 1,000,000!
More!
50,000 to 1,000,000. That's a reasonable jump.
We do our increments that way.
He won't die.
He's fine.
Fuck it.
Pretty rude. But Soundwave does a weird Mega Man barrel arm gun thing.
He does. His hand turns into a Mega Man gun.
Yep, and he blasts him.
And it takes until this point for Megatron to be like, wait, you knew him?
Sorry, I wasn't listening when you responded. Let's talk about it. In fact, wait, I'll show you!
Because there's a TV screen on his forehead.
With a lot of exposed wires around the entire outside, which seems like bad design. Oh, Wheeljack.
Oh yes, of course, God of Transformers.
God of Transformers. I'm sticking with it.
Starscream exposits. They were both explorers on Cybertron.
They say explorers twice, and then later they're like, I was also a scientist. Eventually he's going to be like, and I was the president of Cybertron also.
And
I was the CEO of my own company.
In the little flashback here, somebody forgot, oh yeah, wait a minute, Starscream's not supposed to be a fucking F-15.
No.
4 million years in the past.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure the government found a grounded transformer and based the F-15s off of that.
So somewhere whenever the F-15 started to be made, somebody in the Arctic Circle pulled up some blueprints.
One of those duplicate Starscreams. They unearthed him.
Oh my god. So it's like the actual Transformers movie then.
I didn't know that's what that...
They unearth Megatron in some fucking ice.
I knew the government was involved somehow.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I believe they I don't know if they really get into it, but I'm pretty sure they reverse engineer Megatron for stuff.
I have zero desire to see any of those movies.
Kristen, I'm going to tell you right now, we will not be doing any of those movies for the podcast.
Good. I'm so glad to hear it.
Because
you know who's not prominently featured in those movies? Starscream!
Not only that, Kristen, not only are you hitting a fucking home run with Charlie Adler Starscream... He just doesn't speak.
No! Just doesn't do shit. Because we consider the movies a personal insult, we will not be talking about those.
I just don't want to watch them again.
I don't want to watch them at all in the first place.
I tried watching the 5th one because it was on Amazon.
Oh god, there were 5.
There were 5. Not counting Bumblebee, which is apparently good. Maybe
Yeah.
we do any of them, we'll do Bumblebee.
Who knows?
The 5th one was awful and terrible, and I hated it.
Awesome.
Which is in line with 2 and 3, which were the other... I didn't see 4, because fuck it. And the first one, I was like, at the time, in 2007, I was like, this isn't bad.
Sure.
And then I rewatched it, and I was like, oh no.
Oh, this is bad.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm not interested, so...
But basically, they go to Earth, because Earth is uncharted at this point, and I guess remained uncharted after they went there. Starscream didn't bother...
Starscream was nervous because he lost his buddy, and he was like, fuck! They're gonna be mad when I get back! I don't know, Skyfire's just gone.
He deserted
We didn't find anything.
He deserted, I guess.
Fine. No, there was nothing there, don't worry.
Skyfire gets pulled away by a polar wind.
Up in space!
Because they go right in there to the surface of the Earth.
I wonder if they were like, that looks gaseous, we'll be fine.
And he gets crashed, and Starscream loses him.
He kind of turns around and leaves.
He just goes back to Cybertron.
Okay, he does say he spent a decent amount of time around Earth looking for him.
He could be lying.
He could be lying. He also doesn't say he landed down on Earth and was like,
oh no.
Where is he?
He also didn't say, no, I never fucking liked that guy.
It's fine.
Skyfire wakes up at this point. Finally wakes up. He has a Decepticon badge all of a sudden, which they give him later. It's a problem, Kristen.
It's stupid. It's also made of paper, whatever.
He has a purple Decepticon badge, a red Decepticon badge, and nothing at various points until he becomes an Autobot.
And just weird shapes that aren't either.
Yeah, exactly. A Decepticon symbol missing the head crest thing.
Yep, I said while we were watching, I do kind of love how little the animators gave a shit. It was some, studio in Korea, and they were like, fuck you!
Skyfire wakes up, I'm not on Cybertron. What happened?
And Starscream's like, so, this is the planet I own. You're in my place now. It's great.
Megatron pushes him aside and is like, I'm Megatron. I'm the leader of the Decepticons, and we're just here at Earth to take its energy, to take energy...
Not all of it.
Back to Cybertron, and then I'll rule the universe!
For some reason, this corresponds with Skyfire, who I guess does very quickly get the explanation that at some point it seems like all Transformers were Autobots, and then eventually Megatron was like, fuck you!
And then they split up.
Yeah, so that's some lore.
Oh yeah, during the... He is neither an Autobot nor a Decepticon, Skyfire, because when he crashed, there was no such thing, apparently.
Yeah, so that's when Megatron sees him awake, he's like, you're huge, you'll make a great Decepticon.
And Megatron says that all Autobots are evil and they must be destroyed, and Skyfire, for some reason, when he gets the kind of evil Autobots thing later, when he gets on that, evil Autobots must be destroyed, he doesn't think about the fact that Megatron was just like, so hey, I'm gonna rule the universe.
It's because I'm benevolent, obviously.
He's probably just like, this has nothing to do with science, I don't care.
Who cares? It doesn't matter. Well, it's my old friend, who fucking left me for 4 million years, at least.
The Autobots arrive just in time to see the fucking Aurora Borealis.
Mm-hmm. They're driving in their cozy winter hard hats.
And Spike is like, hey, how cool are they, huh, Optimus? And Optimus very flatly is just like, it's very pleasing to my optic sensors.
He's joyless. What a sad sack.
We cut back here. The Decepticons now give Skyfire the badge, the Decepticon badge. And the Decepticon credo, that is, I guess that's how you the secret pact that you do with the girls in the treehouse with the lemonade.
Yeah.
Hail Cybertron.
Yes.
And destruction to all Autobots.
Skyfire's like, all of them?
Yeah, he doesn't say that part. He's just like, Hail Cybertron, destruction of all Autobots. And then Megatron's immediately like, put him on guard duty.
He's fine. We don't need anyone to watch him, too.
After Megatron leaves, my favorite exchange of the episode happens, where Skyfire's like, Starscream, do you like being a warrior more than a scientist?
And without even wasting a fucking second to think about it, Starscream's like, yes, it's far more exciting.
God damn it, Starscream.
He really is just the worst.
Oh, and then, of course, since Skyfire doesn't know what's up, Starscream decides to be like,
By the way.
I'm gonna rule the Decepticons someday.
And
me.
Then, yeah, it's gonna be me, and you're gonna be my numero dos.
How does that sound, buddy, huh?
Hey, you wanna be my underling?
And Skyfire answers with a very kind of wishy-washy, like, oh yeah, cool.
And Starscream does not seem to notice.
So we wiped it 2 seconds later.
It's going great.
At least it wasn't a transition.
All the Autobots are driving in car mode
On
in
the ice.
Antarctica. Pretty sure they don't all have four-wheel drive, but you know.
And those Volkswagen Beetles with their 4-wheel drive.
Bumblebee must be in agony. Just like screaming with pain.
Skyfire walks out from behind a snowdrift and he sees the Autobots rolling up here. And here's where also another great line, just back to back, just boom, boom. Skyfire just points his weapon and he goes, now I must make the change from science to war.
There's no one around. He's just talking to himself to be
He's
dramatic.
waxing poetic by himself.
He's so boring. What a killjoy.
And somehow, Spike is the first person to notice this giant fucking robot.
One of two people there out of everyone who doesn't have a computer brain.
And Sparkplug was probably too busy looking at the Aurora Borealis.
He was like, wow, beautiful.
Spike and Sparkplug jump out of Optimus because everybody's got to transform and they don't want to get fucking crushed.
Yep, makes sense.
And so I did right here on this mission, and they were true to this. They did not do the thing in Transport to Oblivion where
I'm here too.
where people go in and then different people come out.
It's fine.
Optimus, Jazz, Hound, Gears, Bumblebee, Cliffjumper, Ratchet, Ironhide. There we go.
That's our team.
That is our team. 4 and 4, they get split up. End of segment 1, Skyfire's like, oh, you're Autobots. You must be destroyed.
Beginning of segment 2, Skyfire's like, destroy all Autobots. Just in case you missed it when I said it before.
Gotta, again, set it up for the kids. Sparkplug goes, hit the ice!
So, I love this, just animation-wise, because they both kind of jump for cover, however, Spike slides like he's a little cute penguin.
Right on his stomach.
And yeah, just spins around and goes into frozen water.
Sparkplug gets him out, and Spike's fine. It's okay.
And he's running, like a minute later.
He's like, we gotta get off here, because Skyfire ends up shooting at the ice, which puts them on an ice drift.
Yeah, at the very least, Joe.
Yes.
When you hit ice water, I'm pretty sure that knocks all the air out of you.
I'm pretty sure you are, you can't be like, help!
Help!
No,
screaming.
stop!
Spike does so much screaming in this episode. God, you know who doesn't scream and calls a fuss? Fucking Chip Chase.
Chip Chase rolls with the punches when...
Whoa!
Oh no!
Joe!
Oh shit! Fuck!
Oh good, that wasn't on purpose, I'm so glad.
Oh, damn it. So Chip Chase rolls with the punches.
I mean, he does.
And
He's a brave boy.
he did not scream for help when they were on Cybertron in the acid rain.
He got everyone else to stop feeling sorry for themselves.
So Spike in the water should have just been like, you know what?
I'm not in ice water.
Nobody's really disabled if they have courage.
Spike doesn't have enough courage. He has much to learn.
A lot to learn.
From Sensei Chip Chase.
Spike tries to jump, and Spark...
Sparker grabs him by the back of his jacket, and the animation is very silly.
It is. And he says, if you try to jump, you will fall back in the ice water, and you will definitely get hypothermia.
Don't worry about it. So instead, they look at where all of the Autobots are pinned down from gigantic gunfire, and they're like, help!
So again, 8 Autobots, 1 Skyfire.
Yeah. But he is huge!
Cliffjumper and Hound can't run out because, oh my, he's got all 8 of us pinned down.
Have they never heard of drawing fire?
So Skyfire hears Spike calling for help, and he's just like, that must be the Earth creatures.
Strange. Why are they in distress?
Let me go talk to him, see what's going
He
on.
does a slow little shuffle walk. He has very little movement in his square-ass hips, which means he looks ridiculous every time he walks. But so he just leans down and picks him up like he's fucking King Kong.
Sparkplug and Spike are definitely not into this at all.
Like, oh my god, he's gonna eat us!
And Skyfire's like, what's wrong? Only Autobots need fear me.
Because they are evil, and you are not my enemy. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
You're wearing a Decepticon symbol. He's like, the Decepticons are cool.
Yeah, what are you talking about? I mean, I only woke up 5 minutes ago, but I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about on this planet that you live on.
So I'm going to go take you to Megatron, and he's going to be like, oh, this is just a beautiful misunderstanding. You guys can go stand to the side here while we murder the Autobots.
Do you want some circus peanuts? Here you go.
And they just kind of wander off here. Well,
and Optimus is like, well, we can't shoot.
Even though he's gigantic.
The odds are, with how bad they are at aiming,
True.
they wouldn't hit all of Skyfire.
They try to hit his feet, and they hit Spike and Sparkplug.
Bumblebee gets Spike right in the teeth.
We gotta wait. There's gotta be a safer route to rescue them. If we can find one.
So, I didn't think that I would be making the Optimus more like pessimist joke so many times in so many consecutive episodes, but God, he's a wet blanket!
We transition again here. Starscream puts the humans in a makeshift ice. He fires the null ray at some ice on the ceiling.
And it melts.
And creates bars that they could easily slip through.
Yep.
But fuck it.
So, I mean, I don't see the point in them trying to run out while they're actively surrounded by Decepticons anyway.
Skyfire at this point is incredibly large. He can't even go into the ice cave where the other...
He's looking at them through like a little ice porthole. He stands there and he's like, hey, wait a minute.
I thought you guys weren't going to hurt them. I wouldn't have brought them otherwise. I said that they wouldn't get hurt.
Starscream is like, that's your fucking problem.
Megatron goes, you overstepped your authority.
And Starscream is like, yeah, you offered safety to your enemies, you dumbass.
Enemies? But they're my friends.
Wow! Whoa! This relationship is moving really fast.
Buy a guy a drink first, huh?
Yeah, seriously.
And he gets his hand zapped by Starscream for good measure.
He tries to reach in, Starscream's like, no!
Stop it! And Starscream basically says that, the humans are basically going to die when they're not useful. Same song remains the same.
Starscream seems to just like emotionally tormenting Skyfire with telling him, oh, that thing you want? Science? No. War. Saving humans? No. I'm gonna step on them.
And Skyfire has an inner monologue here where, again, he's just like, I thought that science would never bring me to war, and yet here I am, in war.
You would really think it would sink in by now, but no. I'm having conflicting feelings about this.
Science is about learning. It's not about destroying.
I think the Manhattan Project would disagree with you, my friend.
That's a loophole. That's how Megatron should present it. Like, so okay, we're gonna make a really big bomb, but we gotta find out how to do it, and who's gonna do it other than Science Man.
Thank you so much in advance. You're gonna sleep great for the rest of your life.
Optimus and the other Autobots are outside a cave here, and Optimus whispers to get transform and move into a secure position.
Really good. So they start going, and then Gears stops before he gets into the cave, and he says, so you got a little bit of a tickle. Feels like he's gonna sneeze. Something's up with his sensors, but what it turns out to be is the ice is cracking underneath them.
And then I believe Hound makes a fat joke about Ironhide.
Super rude.
Too much lead in his caboose.
Your ass is big!
So they're fine though. They don't scream or anything when it all falls under them. When it comes tumbling down,
They're robots. Yeah, they go. They say that the cold is making it hard for them to do stuff. Again, they are robots.
I mean, it's the cold can preserve them at least, I guess.
Yeah, it depending on what kind of situation you're in is what the cold does to the robots.
They all ride off in some direction. Hound is saying something, but then it turns into an echo as he gets.
So you can't understand a single fucking word of it.
There are hundreds of tunnels, Kristen, so Bumblebee is just like, I don't see Gears or the rest of the guys anywhere. Are they lost? And apparently it's like the fucking Indiana Jones Find Your Fate book.
They got stuck in the loop that we were stuck in.
But Cliffjumper hears Spike calling for help, and Optimus is like, Cliffjumper, don't be hasty, because he's always hasty, which is why he's a dumbass, I guess. Mm-hmm. And here I thought, there's going to be somebody set a trap for the... They didn't leave, Ravage to guard the humans. No. They didn't leave... any of the fucking reflectors or anything.
They're all really busy at the Earth's core.
They're just there, and Cliffjumper melts the ice bars because his laser gun has a defrost setting, which I think is true of every laser gun, Kristen!
Yeah, I mean, it's just a different setting, isn't it? To do it gently.
Stun and kill.
Yeah, it's hot either way. Defrost versus absolutely scorch.
So Ironhide and company find the core draining situation here, and... Yeah, all the Decepticons are here, so...
They are having a conversation where they're like, things are fine, Earth is gonna freeze over, and that's fucking hilarious, and things will be great. And then Megatron is, like, slowly just looking off into the distance, and he's like, providing people don't, like, fucking spy on us here, let's go kill those Autobots that are watching us!
And as it happens, Thundercracker and Skywarp are on either side of all of the Autobots.
Right behind them. Those guys are silent.
At least Skywarp can teleport, you know? Thundercracker's
just sneaky.
He's running over really quick alike.
Yep.
Soundwave sends out Ravage here to see if there are any other Autobots around, and we get here Kristen as we get to the other Autobots. Jazz says, we've been searching this cave for Astro minutes, which, considering how there were billions of Astro seconds, if the conversion rate is the same, Astro minutes, at most, is probably like 25 seconds.
None of this shit makes any sense. I'm just gonna ignore it from now on, because otherwise I'll go crazy. Numbers aren't my strong suit to begin with, Joe. It's just easier to be ignorant.
So they debate what they're gonna do here. If they should go back, if they should just go back to the surface, if they should split up. And
Cliffjumper doesn't have time for this, Joe.
Fuck this, Scoob. So he just runs forward immediately into Ravage.
Ravage is like, hey, thanks for coming. Bam!
So Optimus takes it upon himself here to be
He shoots him.
to be the big man and shoot Ravage.
It's very, very savage.
They all start running away, and Bumblebee shoots at the top of the cave.
So what we see is that a bunch of ice falls down. What we don't see is Ravage actually under it.
No.
But we can assume that's what happened.
Because Jazz does say one Decepticon down and a bunch to go, even though I think this might be a rare time that the Decepticons do outnumber the Autobots, especially with Skyfire. So,
and then, like, they did split up, whatever. Did they ever go back and dig Ravage out?
Did they ever take Laserbeak out of that? Well, we see Laserbeak later, so thankfully he got out of the net in the cave.
Yeah. Stupid.
So we go back to the captured Autobots here, who are now on the surface, backs against the crystal, because I guess this is the good execution area.
Sure.
And Starscream is like, alright, Skyfire, I know your loyalty circuits must have been all kind of fucked up when you were under the ice, but I'm gonna do you a solid.
You get to do my dirty work.
You get to murder.
Ah, see, isn't that great? Science, you see, for education. See what happens when you point this gun at them and shoot.
And Skyfire goes, damn it, Jim, I'm a scientist, not an executioner.
Starscream is like, fucking do it, dude. I'm not joking around anymore.
I'm your superior.
And Skyfire is like, I know, they have done nothing wrong.
But you have, you traitor!
And then Starscream shoots Skyfire. And even the Autobots are like, what the fuck?
Whoa!
Dude!
Come on!
It's great.
I will enjoy this! As he blows up the Autobots, and I did have in my notes here, Kristen, end of segment 2, the Autobots are destroyed. $5, it's a hologram plan.
Joe, joke's on you. It's a hologram plan.
Shit!
Someone figured out how to say hologram.
So segment 3 starts. Starscream laughs triumphantly. Doesn't bother to kill Skyfire or anything. He's
like, nice job, idiot! And then walks over him.
Good thing you didn't end up like the Autobots. Goodbye!
It's probably only because you're so huge. Smell you later!
And look at that. It's not a hologram plan. It's a hologram plan.
Fantastic. So Skyfire is kind of, his bean gets freaked.
He's a little like, I saw you destroyed.
He's just been experiencing trauma after trauma since waking up probably an hour ago.
And Ratchet, yes, explains, oh no, we had synergy. We said Showtime synergy.
Woo! So we, Starscream...
Turn me into parts!
So Starscream thought that we could just die from a single laser explosion. So that was probably his fault. We're fine, don't worry about it. He missed us.
Skyfire passes out at this point, and they drag him behind a snowdrift or something.
Oh man, how did that work? He's so big!
There's 4 of them there. I mean, Gears is tiny, but Ironhide's supposed to be strong, I guess.
Okay, sure. Whoever the fuck that is.
Optimus and company are just here now. They just went back to the surface and kind of regrouped with everybody, and they knew where to find them, and fuck it.
Yep.
Cliffjumper goes, why are we fixing a Decepticon?
So everyone else was like, he didn't want to hurt us, and Starscream shot him!
Starscream's an asshole!
It just kind of seems like bad form at this point to not try something.
Ratchet closes up Skyfire's chest saying, I did all I could, meaning nothing.
Yeah. They don't have weird electricity to just shoot out and to see if they can boot him back up.
All it takes now is time and luck, which I don't... What did you do, Ratchet?
Thoughts and prayers.
And then we see Laserbeak, who is just kind of, not even, I wanted to say circling above. He's just sitting there.
He's just hanging
the
out.
animation cell is just plastered there, not moving,
Yep.
as he sends out a boo, boo.
See, what it looked like to me is that he had a little old-timey microphone on his head.
It kind of did look like that, Kristen.
And then maybe we just didn't hear the feed that he was sending to Megatron, whose chest lights up.
Yeah, Megatron turns into a fucking Christmas tree as he receives this signal from Laserbeak.
Just hear those sleigh bells ringing.
Come on, it's lovely weather for transforming together with you.
That works, sure.
And Megatron's fucking around with a tiny little Energon Rubik's Cube, basically.
And he takes it and he just lobs it at Starscream's fucking head.
You disgust me. And I was hoping that it would end there.
Yeah, Starscream's like, what? He, like, doesn't even seem too bothered about it. He's like, this is normal. He's just like, what now?
He throws Energon Cubes at me all the time.
This just happens.
You let the Autobots survive.
And Starscream immediately is like, God damn it, it was Hound!
And his stupid holograms!
Jesus!
I thought I knew about his holograms. Wait a minute.
I forgot about it until just now.
No, these are new. These are holograms.
Ah, shit! It's a different thing. So the Decepticons are like, okay, let's go get him again. Jesus.
The jets all transform and they drop bombs, which is a new thing. They just have bombs.
Like, they shoot weird laser pellets like a bullet hell game, but they also have just straight up bombs. So that's pretty cool. Ratchet's like petting Skyfire like, I need to stay here.
Until he gets shot off of him.
Yeah, so it's incredibly romantic again. Everyone's so into Skyfire.
Skyfire does kind of start waking up at this point. He's feeling a little better. Optimus says time for reinforcements, which...
One thing, very small.
So, we saw Roller in More Than Meets
I
the
thought
Eye.
this was Roller, but that's just because I can't remember a single fucking thing about this show.
So, Optimus's trailer, Kristen,
Yeah.
has both Roller
Yes.
and a large, like, kind of gyroscopic laser gun thing, kind of gyroscopic arm.
How big are we talking?
I've got the toy. I can show you.
We don't need to do that.
It's special since this is a podcast, but either way.
Well, the thing I'm wondering is, between the gun and Roller, isn't there room for more stuff in there? It's a whole trailer.
The thing is, Kristen, that's part of why you buy Optimus. He can fit the Autobot cars inside the trailer.
That's stupid.
That's brand synergy, Kristen!
I don't care!
Showtime synergy.
Emmett Benton had it right.
So what comes out of Optimus's trailer is...
Joe!
Yes.
Synergy. Creating new outfits. Creating new products
Oh my
to
God.
sell for Gemini.
Oh.
That's marketing synergy!
That's brand synergy.
Woo! I'm sorry, continue.
So, the thing that comes out of Optimus's trailer is basically a combination of Roller and this gun that I don't think we ever see
They
again.
had a little baby.
Oh no, and its head popped off.
This whole episode is tragic in so many ways.
Skywarp is hit by this thing, and he crashes into Thundercracker, as
Cool.
he does, because Skywarp's a fucking dumbass.
Yep.
And Optimus and Megatron fight again.
Okay, so it is different this time. So the weird crystal, Optimus just grabs part of it and rips it off like it's tree bark. And he has a crystal sword.
Yes, and he uses it to knock Megatron's gun off his arm.
Yeah. And
And-
Megatron's like, good idea.
You know what? I like where your head is. It's crack!
This is probably the most interesting robot fight we've had so far. They do some acrobatics.
They do
if you
some
call it
they do
that.
some robot things.
Yeah.
There's a certain point where Megatron like jumps up, hands on Optimus's shoulders to like somersault over him, and his waist swivels around so he can land like feet first behind Optimus. But
And then spin around and like slash him with the sword.
but his torso is still backwards, so he can get extra momentum from his slash.
Boom!
And then when Optimus is knocked over, he starts spinning,
His hand, his wrist.
so it becomes like a gyro propeller fan. Video game fan thing that you got to destroy all the blades of.
Yeah.
And that's enough to knock Megatron away just in time for Skyfire to show up.
Megatron didn't get the memo apparently, and he's like, help!
You're going to lose, Prime!
Look how big this guy is!
And Skyfire's like, no, dumbass.
So he rips off the Decepticon thing as if it's paper or like a vinyl sticker. And then he has a weird blocky thing. I don't know who gave this. Maybe Ratchet like slipped it under his
It's just
head.
like, hey, here's this for you, buddy.
Hey, you'll be needing this later. And he slaps a Autobot logo on and says, I'm an Autobot! It is pretty sad for him that there's no, like, cool ceremony. All hail Cybertron, let's save Earth.
Destruction all Decepticons.
Yeah,
you know.
woo! No, it's just he invites himself to this party.
Pretty much. And then Megatron goes, no! As Skyfire grabs his shoulder
Fix him up!
and just hoofs him.
To be fair, when I first saw how much bigger Skyfire was than everyone else, all I wanted was for him to pick someone up and throw them.
You got your wish, Kristen.
Wish granted.
A human pyramid reflected... Like, okay, so 2 reflectors.
They realized, we're really not as big as this guy. What can we do?
They don't do Mecha Shiva on each other's shoulders or anything.
Not 3 people.
They don't even have 4 of them, so they can't do, like, the Japanese cavalry high school shit.
No.
It's gotta be, like, one of them holding one's leg.
Like cheerleading.
Kind of like cheerleading.
Yeah.
Running at him, and Skyfire
He just slaps him away.
slaps him away, and they break into 3.
Oh, poor Reflector. So then there's going to be a one-on-one Robo showdown between Skyfire and Starscream, because Starscream is like, okay, fuck you!
I could understand it before, that you didn't want to shoot the Autobots.
It was pretty cool how you threw Megatron.
But, fuck you.
Yeah, we're dogfighting now.
So Skyfire goes, you forget, Starscream, I can transform too.
I doubt he forgot. They are Transformers.
So they're flying in the sky. Fire in the sky.
Woo! Scream in the sky.
Scream in the sky. Apparently, Starscream can't see Skyfire because he's just like, where are you, traitor?
He's like literally above his like right shoulder.
I'm right here. Pew pew pew.
Oh, they smack into each other. Starscream. So really, with how this ends,
should Starscream not have been buried too? Is what
well,
you're
it
asking?
seems like Starscream won actually.
Yes. So yes, they bump into each other, and of course, because Skyfire's gigantic, Starscream hits the ground, hits the snow, and the Autobots are like, "Yay! Oh wait a minute, Skyfire's losing control. What's he doing?"
So he's plummeting toward Earth instead of landing. So he ends up in like the little pit that they dug to start tapping the Earth's core.
Well, he fires at some... He's just like, one more blast!
Mm-hmm.
So he fires at some snow, and then he crashes into a pit, like you said, near the crystal, which not only buries him, but also buries the crystal.
Yes, and I assume all of the Energon cubes, since that's never wrapped up.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I guess.
So, it completely solidifies over him, and there's a little, like, beautiful Aurora Borealis light ring.
Circle thing.
To signify where his soul is, I guess.
Back to the ice from whence he came. Cold and calculating, like science itself.
Ashes to ashes, ice to ice. So, Spike, who has been upset by everything this episode...
He is...
When is Sparkle gonna teach Spike about death?
Because technically this is not death.
Yeah, well, for all he knows. So they do go over, and Spike's just like, oh my god, Skyfire's gone.
And Optimus goes, you know what? He's never really gone, because he'll live on within all of us. So long as freedom exists. So everybody salutes. This is the true patriot.
And it cuts before someone goes, wait, we're not going to try and get him out?
That's it!
And the episode is over.
Fire in the Sky was a weird episode, Kristen.
It was. I am a little bit disappointed because now seems like a good time to plug our individual Starscream YouTube videos that we exchanged last week. I sent you Lindsay Ellis's Loose Cannon Starscream thing from 2017, where she talked about all the iterations of Starscream, which did include information about this episode, which is pretty sad because I think if I didn't know going in that Skyfire ends up just buried and they don't try anything, I would have lost my entire goddamn mind.
Mine, of course, being I did mention before Chris McFeely's Transformers The Basics on Starscream, which is roughly the same video.
Yeah, there's a whole new just Starscream one that was put out, and you sent that to me, which I appreciate. Again, we had this discussion earlier today. It is very sad. I forgot about the Starscream's ghost stuff that is going to happen later in the series.
Maybe,
whatever.
Maybe you could forget again.
Yeah, maybe I'll get lucky and I'll forget again, because that is the best shit I've ever heard in my entire life, and I'm very excited for it.
I'm just a little bit weirded out in this episode, Kristen, about the Autobots being quite nonchalant about...
Climate change?
The climate change?
Yeah.
You'd think it might be an allegory for what's...
Weird. Only one man is brave enough. I wonder if there's like a citizen...
Spike did say that Optimus would be a great president!
Yeah! But we said that he wasn't born in the United States, so that's
Shit!
the ongoing problem!
Fuck!
Yeah, I wonder if there's like a loophole pathway to citizenship that
Could we
get.
put Optimus...
He was technically in the United States before America existed!
There we go.
There we go.
U.S. citizen.
4 million years. He is the Native American.
Quite literally.
Yeah! Jesus Christ.
Also, don't be too sad for Skyfire because he comes back in 2
I
episodes.
wasn't sad anyway, but I didn't know that, so that's pretty cool. It would have been a lot funnier if he didn't come back, but you gotta sell your toys.
Now's the point in the evening where I list off all of the fun contact things where you can find us. You can follow us on the Twitter machine at cwtapod. Follow me at Octopus, AWKTAPUS.
You can follow me at FunnyGirlTM, like trademark.
You can find us on the Apple Podcasts, still have iTunes written there.
Nope.
SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, on the YouTube. Leave a rating, give a review, do whatever you feel like. You can also reach us, cwtapod@gmail.com, where you can tell us all about the stupid crystal shaft to the center of the Earth and your long-lost scientist lover.
What a beautiful story. And we can do another shout-out this week, because I do not know if she's going to be up to date with the Transformers episodes at this point, but Holly has been watching our Gem episodes recently and leaving lots of comments on YouTube, following us on Twitter. We appreciate that very much. Thank you.
We do. Yes, thank you, Holly, very much. Next week, Kristen, the moment you've been waiting for.
Yes. My other boyfriend.
Dinobots. You were very excited about the Dinobots? Our next episode?
No, Joe, I'm excited about Grimlock.
True, the other ones...
I don't even know the other one's names.
There we go. More Autobots for you to learn about, by the way. So...
At some point, we're going to have to quiz me on the Autobots, and I'm really not looking forward to it. I beg Joe to please give me a few more weeks.
How about the end of the first season? Do you think that might be
Okay, yeah, maybe for the wrap-up episode we can try it.
So, SOS Dinobots is next week. All I know is Wheeljack builds them. I think there's something like Spike takes them to a museum, and they see dinosaur bones, and
Wheeljack is like, oh my god!
Holy fuck!
That's amazing! I love that, the sound of that. So, I'm just checking, are we going to be about halfway through at that point?
Of season 1, there are 16 episodes, so that is the 8th episode. So
yeah.
That's halfway through season 1.
Wow, we are going at a clip. We did do 3 episodes in 1.
That's true. And there is a 3-parter also in season 1. If we want to do a second 3-parter as one episode.
We'll have to talk about that.
Probably not. For the Can't We Talk About podcast, my name is Joe.
I'm Kristen.
And join us next time for Dinobots.
Metal to Munch is in the mail.
Gross.
Yay.